answers. There are no platforms where funders for non-feature categories. There are extremely rare, or you can say there are none in our country. And also, so basically, since it does not have a prestige, a platform, buyers, I mean, after IFFI, what happens to these films? Where would they go? I mean, sir, we were talking about YouTube, but YouTube is such a random thing. You can put anything on YouTube. So where is that platform where one can watch a serious content? I mean, good films. I'm just talking about good films. Visit that platform, and one can watch those documentary films, for example. So it is extremely difficult to get funds for good films, and I unfortunately, we really lack at it.
May I add something to it, answering your question? When I passed out of FTII and I started making films, at that time Films Division was very active, and it was one very sure source for financing so far as non-fiction is concerned. Slowly that source has dried up, so it definitely affects the non-fiction producers. At the moment there is no support from the government, there is hardly any support from the private source also. So non-fiction movement definitely needs financial support from big industrial houses and even the big producers.
I think there is crowdfunding, which is one alternative, but I think when there is too much freedom, there is no focus. So what we are all trying to emphasize is that while YouTube is a platform, how do you create focus on a particular body of good work so that if people are directed to go there or can at least have heard about it?
Again, I'm in wildlife space. I produce 6 films, all are self-funded, not commissioned by anyone. All are self-funded, broadcast worldwide to National Geographic, Discovery, BBC. There is no one in our country to promote wildlife films. Even though we all wanted to create awareness, there is no fund, and even the corporate social responsibility also, I don't think they can spend money on filmmaking. I mean, yeah, because the CSR fund is not for filmmaking. Whenever you approach them, no. Maybe some research they can provide, but that's one thing. So even if you want to create an awareness, you want to produce film, neither government can do it. There's funding, there's no channel. That's very.
I mean, what we need to understand as film fraternity, community, audiences, whatever, society, is non-fiction, non-feature films support, the mainstream cinema also, always. Like, whenever we research for a topic, for example, he's been working as a legend in the space of, wildlife filmmaking, non-fiction filmmaking and all. So people go and watch those films, and that works as their research thing. Also, it is not possible for the mainstream cinema, commercial cinema to cover nuanced, things in our society from our lives. Only non-fiction films, those filmmakers, covering those small topics, I mean, only non-feature films can do that. So it's not that, to have a stronger commercial and kind of a professional, larger length films, we need a very strong kind of non-fiction film making movement, platform and support. I mean, without them, we cannot, I mean, as Vandaraji was saying it, like, most of us, I mean, who are like feature filmmakers, they have made short films initially. And people also ask, what have you made so far? So, but if they do not get proper mentoring, funds, platforms and exhibition places, I mean, how would they reach? And that's a really, serious thing that we need to think about. Yeah.
Not is right.
NMDC started production and production finance for documentaries. And otherwise, there is another person who is Dockett's Corner, the initiative of DRI, Documentary Resource Initiative. This is a good, only it's very limited. And in nowadays, because of Gaudi Film Institute, one thing was also here in Indian phenomenon. And new media films, for instance, started, especially Assam, Manipur, Meghalaya, very limited, with very limited resources.
We can take.
Yeah.
We can take one last question.
Sorry, Mahesh here. This problem with financing remains. It's there since the beginning of documentary making, I guess. It has never been profitable. Is it now time to think a different business model for that? Should we be looking beyond crowdfunding or the own resources of the documentary maker? And should we seriously due diligence or the veteran documentary maker, should you be looking at different business model altogether, maybe getting corporate, not corporates, other trusts involved, something like that? Because this is, I mean, the question, as you must have seen, is oft repeated, it's often discussed, but I don't see any solution in sight.
You said, I think that makes sense, because I think the government could give guidelines to corporate houses. So, the corporate house can keep a separate fund for these documentaries, because we have to, the press also has to take this as a, I mean, it's a good social cause. If you're making good films, it helps the society. We need to, I mean, it could be done that way, the government could initiate such.
CSR fund should take.
Yeah, the government should give
CSR
guidelines to that.
CSR. It needs, I mean, it's not there filmmaking.
CSR fund, there is a difficulty. CSR fund is given to trust, not any individual person. Okay, number one. Number two, the trust has to give the account that whatever money is spent for that particular project. So getting CSR fund for the private producer is very difficult. But sometimes some big business house, they would like to do some good kind of a awareness in the market, in the society, in the country, in different subjects, like a water harvesting, like a environment. These kind of films, yes, they do provide the fund. If you got a good contract, and if you make them personally, convince your project and how best you are going to give the final product, then the CSR fund you can get. I got a very different experience in my life. I am a regular lithographer filmmaker. My flagship is Dastani Rafi on Muhammad Rafi. It was lithography of Muhammad Rafi right from his birth to the death, and we have covered the entire his career, how he has come out from small place, from some village, and he become a superstar as a singer. Please believe me, I spent and I invested the money, then started pitching the project. And my film was released on G Classic. It is there on all DTH platforms. It is there on all the Geo, G5 and the Semaru. As far as, yes, I would like to tell you one thing about YouTube. People are dreaming that you can make money from YouTube. You cannot make. My total viewership on the YouTube is more than 15 lakh, 17 lakh लोगों ने देखा होगा. And my income of the 17 lakh is only 1 lakh. To reach to that much kind of a audience and people watch your film. So I feel that it's a struggle. It's a struggle for the maker, and here all are people.
In short, all the award-winning documentaries, I mean, whatever the document of the last 2 years, is mostly funded by foreign agencies. Not even one single commission project has been got any award, not even nominated. To name it, most of it. Yeah.
I think also, as a hopefully short answer to a very important question, we have to celebrate documentary. For us in India, documentary, when I was little, documentary used to come before the feature film, and I didn't want to watch documentary. So, it's stuck in our minds somewhere. Even though FT has produced some beautiful, gorgeous documentary, I've seen them, you can't tear yourself away from it. We have to celebrate it. We have to understand that documentary is actually also like a book in film. It's giving you information, it's showing you different aspects of something, it's well researched. I mean, that's what documentary is capable of. So, and it can start with you guys. There are many things to change, but it can start with you guys.
And most of the short film in this entry, in this Indian panorama, you can see mostly people who don't want to do a longer feature film. So they invested their own money, they made a small short film to pitch, to get the feature film. There's nothing to do with documentaries. You know, if you see a lot of small short films, you can see it's a pitch for these feature films. So that's one thing. That's why the number of entries also increased, because most of the people wants to do get into feature film, they make a small short film. Because short film became a passion to get into the features. You know?
Thank you. Kindly note that selected entries from non-feature category, they will again meet the press in due course of time. I kindly request Nalamutri to receive a small token of respect from PIB on behalf of the jury.